Hello, good morning and welcome to Newsdesk. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125. Across all our social media handles, we're Joe News on TV. My name is Faustina Safo. Coming up, governing New Patriotic Party to decide the fate of Dr. Opoku Prempeh as running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Stay, because we'll bring you some analysis on this. Also in this bulletin, Clag Strike still on strike as national executives failed to turn up for a meeting with the National Labour Commission. And later in the bulletin, in the National Science and Maths Quiz, Presby Senior High School Bompata to make their first appearance at the national stage. Stay as we tell you all about it. My name is Faustina Safo. Take a seat. Be my guest. Thanks for staying with us. Now we start with the National Executive Committee of the governing New Patriotic Party, because later today they will decide the fate of Dr. Opoku Prempeh. Now, they want to find out if he's a perfect fit for the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as running mate. Now, this follows wide consultation with President Akufo-Addo and the majority caucus in Parliament. Well, let's get more on this, and let's bring in political analyst Dr. Sante to join us here on Newsdesk. I'm grateful for your time. The last time we spoke to the communications director for Dr. Bawumia's campaign team, Miracles Abaj, he said that they have done wide consultation and it's most unlikely that the National Council will reject Dr. Opoku Prempeh as flag bearer to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But then it leaves the question for the voters: is he the best candidate to represent the party?
Oh, I think from where I sit, Dr. Opoku Prempeh is the best candidate under the circumstance. Why am I saying this? You need to consider a number of factors if you are looking for a running mate, for instance. There are three factors. One is you look at somebody who will come and complement the ticket of the flag bearer. And that person should have certain expertise that he is bringing on board. Opoku Prempeh, by his training, comes from the health perspective, with all knowledge in the area of health. He has held two important ministries, education and energy. These are going to be made available to support his flag bearer. In addition to that, he has also been a legislator. And you know, one of the movers and shakers of governance is the legislature, which is the boiling pot for all the political parties. So these areas are going to strengthen his hand to be able to support his flag bearer. Countries all over the world, when you are looking for the strict presidential system of government and the rest of them, you realize that these are the factors they consider. Even though our system is not presidential, remember it's a hybrid, so there is a certain aspect of it which is presidential in nature. In the US, during Obama's time, he was able to bring on board Joe Biden simply because Biden was an experienced diplomat. So you will remember, a country like America, America is what it is because of diplomacy. So somebody like this, it was of importance to him. So they brought him in and the rest of them. Now come to the second consideration for a running mate. We also look for somebody who can be able to bring other or appeal to other groups within the state. And if you look at the backgrounds that I've said, these are backgrounds that are going to influence some people to be pulled along into the NPP fold. So that is also a plus for Dr. Opoku Prempeh, apart from other factors. Then the last aspect of it is that you want somebody who can step into the shoes of the president should NPP wins power and then Baumia is going to be the president, then you need, at the day that Baumia said, yes, I'm not going again, and that somebody should take over, then the vice president stepped into the shoes of the president and is able to do the work. Are you asking? So here the question is, will he be able to step into the shoes of his flag bearer in event that they win election and his flag bearer becomes president and he cannot continue? Obviously, my answer is yes. Opoku Prempeh can do that. Apart from all this thing, you are looking at popularity. It's one of the factors so critical because you are talking about a game which is driven by numbers. And Opoku Prempeh is popular because if you look in political science, when we assign you a ministry, depending on what you do there and the size of the ministry or the ministry, that particular ministry, its stature within the national life of the people. If you're able to come out with a policy and the policy resonates with the people, your name becomes a household name. Remember, it was his tenure as a the minister for education that Akufo-Addo introduced free SHS. And you know the benefits of free SHS, how it has helped a lot of families and all that. So take it or leave it. His name is a household name and it cuts across. Energy, everybody needs that. And his name is also associated with energy and is all over.
But
remember,
then how
he's
do we...
a party man. Just 1 second. He's a party man. So the top brass, the rank and file, every member of the party, at least a large extent of the people believe that this is the true man that will really fight for us. Because party people require party men, simply because when people get power and they are not true and true party people, they don't consider their interests, the interests of the party people. So when they get somebody like this, is of great benefit to them and other factors that can be brought to board.
Let me come in at this point because there are concerns from even internal members of the NPP. A key example, Andy Appiah-Kubi, who feels that NAPO is not a unifier. How then do you convince the electorate to vote for a man that even internal party members are skeptical about?
Oh, Mr. Appiah-Kubi has the right to express what he thinks as far as that candidate is concerned. It is his right. But as to whether that is the reality of the ground, I'm not sure that can be supported with what is happening. Because here you are. Remember, it's not only Opoku Prempeh's name that was that came up. But if you listen to Nanabi and some of especially Nanabi, he said that some names came up and Opoku Prempeh one remained tops. It tells you that the party itself have done their homework and this is the direction they want to go. So Mr. Appiah-Kubi's one will be one of the dissenting voices. It's normal in a democracy. You can't have all being part of the majority decision. There are minority also interests, and he represents one of the minority interests. But in the democracy, we are driven by what majority interests. So at the end of the day, his voice will be dwarfed within the party. But it is his right to be able to express that dissenting voice. It's normal. But the party, what the party believes in is what they have taken. And I have no doubt in my mind that when it gets to what the NEC will also approve him. Because other than that, then what's the point of what? Allowing the process to roll up to this level. But of course, they can reject him too. But more often than not, what people do is that there's a background lobbying that goes on, talking to people. So by the time they come and sit, it's just a formality and he will go through. At the end of the day, I have no doubt in my mind that the party, the NEC will pass him.
Let's look at the character of Dr. Opoku Prempeh. There are some people who feel he's rude. How do you think the party can market such a candidate to the average Ghanaian?
There is no human being who doesn't have a problem relative to what? Your behavior, your character, and the rest of them. But what we do in politics is that you manage those people, right? I am sure we heard a lot of things about our leaders, both past and present, when they were coming to assume office. But the parties that they come from were able to manage them so that they become fit for purpose. So if that is Opoku Prempeh's one of his weaknesses, I am sure that the party will take the trouble to manage him and all that, because it is incumbent upon them. It is in their own interest to do that if they really want to showcase this person as the person who is going to partner Bawumia, so they should vote for them. Then obviously that homework they have to do. But let us not deceive ourselves into believing that there is anybody on the surface of the earth who is not who is without a problem. There is a problem, but we manage them. All that the party do is that they gauge the baggage that you have in its entirety and see whether what you have will weigh you heavily so that opponents can capitalize on that and use it as raw materials to campaign against you. But if you look at what we are talking about, it cannot be used so strongly to convince people to vote against you if you have certain qualities that can overshadow all this. So this one is one of the peripheral issues. It will be discounted, and then the party will work on that.
When the National Council meets later today, what are the key qualities they'll be looking at? And when they grill this nomination, Napo's name coming up, what are the key qualities they'll be looking at? Because even his nomination is subject to their approval.
The qualities are those I've already enumerated, but I will recount them here. You are looking for somebody who will come and complement the ticket of his flag bearer, right? The flag bearer is through and through economist, so you need somebody with other backgrounds to come and support. And Napo is coming from the health background, from his position as a minister, from educational background, and then from little knowledge in the area of energy. And remember, he has been a legislator. These things are critical when you are running the show as in government. So these are some of the qualities. Beyond this, they want to look at whether the person can bring in numbers. And that is the second consideration when you are looking for a running mate. You are looking for somebody who appeals to a lot of groups. He has a lot of constituencies. And constituencies, I'm not talking about the constituency, the natural constituency he hails from. But we are looking at other groups of people he can bring to board. And that is a consideration for looking for somebody to partner the flag bearer. So those things will obviously blossom to become your area that gives you the popularity. So he's going to draw people from those who have been associated with free SHS as far as education is concerned. In energy places where there have been difficulty, which I concede, that also he has a strength in there. His area as a health practitioner, you are going to cash in on that, because when you talk about health and there's a doctor involved, you are talking about families and all that. Remember that he also comes from Ashanti region, which is the heartbeat of the NPP, and that all that is staring on their face at the Ashanti region, that there's likelihood for them to have apathy. And if apathy sets in, the only way to break it is that you bring in somebody who hails from the region to ginger the people, and he's the right candidate to ginger the people. Any other consideration, I think, will be secondary. But all these things, in addition to the fact that you are looking for somebody with less baggage, so that the opposition cannot cash in on that and use it to run him down. That is one thing. And then you need somebody also who will be able to rub shoulders with any, running mate across the political divide. And all these qualities, I think that Opoku Prempeh is good for that.
Let's look at the opposition, the biggest opposition party, the NDC, and their strategy, bringing a woman on board. Now, there are concerns that this may actually affect the outcome of the upcoming elections. What are your thoughts about possibly considering a woman instead for the NPP?
Oh, the gender card is important, but let us look at it this way. If you're looking at gender against competence, then what will be your assessment? In all these things, we are looking at human beings. A human being can be either a male or female, but what we require is competence. It's Opoku Prempeh competent, it's Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman competent. The two are competent, but of course, they have their strength. And if that is what we are looking at, we can also look at them.
What would be the posturing of the campaign team after if probably NEC gives their approval for his candidature. What do you think the campaign team for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should focus on to get the electorates on board?
They should be getting ready to answer serious questions. You remember, before Nana Akufo-Addo won election, Bawumia was going around this country with all manner of lectures, very insightful one and all that. He raised the hopes of people, and then in addition to that, you recall, he slapped 170 questions on the face of Emisata and the rest of them. And that also was the Waterloo of the NDC during the election. Obviously, if you were a teacher and you say question your students are not able to answer, at a point in time, they'd call you upon you that, sir, can you walk us through what your real answers are? So, long and short of it all is that 170 questions are going to be slapped on the face of my vice president, your vice president, and he should be able to address them. This is the task of the campaign team. They should be able to get ready to answer the questions. The questions are going to be what? They are the same questions, but times have changed. So they need to be able to walk us through that tight rope of political righteousness. When they are able to do that, I'm sure the good people will assess them and give them what they deserve. Apart from that, the campaign must be civil and decorous. Any attempt at running somebody down because of gender and all that will not fly. Or because of somebody's age will not fly. Because Ghanaians want to go beyond this. We are looking for a situation where the youth who lack jobs, where will be given opportunity to have jobs. And not just the talk, but we want them to walk the talk. If you tell us that you are going to provide jobs for the youth, you walk us through the ABC of it and how far we get it. All right. If you tell us you are going to establish a bank, tell us where the money is going to come from and how you're going to execute it. So we are taking the conversation to another level this time around. So I'm not sure the party is oblivious of this fact. They should get themselves ready to face serious questions and then deal with very critical issues, because there are certain issues that they have handled and it has become albatross around their necks. For instance, the cathedral that we cannot find on the surface of this country, or we expect that by now it should be blown up to fruition, that we are going to commission it. Where is it? They need to come and tell us more about the $58 million spent on them. We want to also know more from the issue of the Pualugu Dam, the $12 million. Where has it gone to? We also want to know how they have managed the kitty of this country. Those questions are going to come to them. The youth are going to run to them to find answers to their unemployment situations. So I can tell you that there is a host of questions waiting for them. But I believe that they are competent and they have what it takes to be able to handle this and work out with their chest out.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kwame Sante, for joining us here on NewsDesk. He's a political scientist. Now, let me bring in Miracles Abaj. He is Director of Communication for Dr. Bawumia campaign team. Thank you for your time here on NewsDesk. What should we expect ahead of the NEC meeting?
No, I believe that by the grace of God and by the kind courtesy of the National Council, by close of day today, we should have a complete team for the elections in December. There are a couple of meetings lined up from now till evening. The steering committee, National Executive Committee, and the National Council meeting. And so, hopefully, by evening, late afternoon, the National Council should have ended, and we are hopeful to receive some ratification or approval of the flag bearers nominee.
Now, one key concern that political scientist Dr. Sante raised was that should he be approved by the National Council, you have a daunting task ahead of you to convince the electorate that this pair, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Napo, is fit for the country. Share with us your campaign strategy moving forward.
No election has been easy, and we've never taken any elections lightly in this country. We've seen every election to be a very serious business, and so we are ready for it. The Ghanaian voter has a decision to make between a pair of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Opoku Prempeh versus former President Mahama and Professor Nana. I mean, it's a scorecard that is going to come to play. Fortunately, we have an opponent that has been president before. He's been given the responsibility before. He has a more daunting task than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because he has to convince the people as to why he deserves to be brought back into the same responsibility that was given to him and he failed miserably. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's job is to convince the people that they should rest assured that he will deliver on his promises. But the former president has a daunting task, much more daunting task, to convince the people as to why he failed miserably and to believe that they should be brought back in. Our responsibility clearly people go to their homes, to their places of interest to them and talk and outline why the background is participation and give them their thoughts and confidence that he's the right to take the country.
Thank you for your time here on Newsdesk. We'll come to you in subsequent bulletins as we look forward to the final announcement from the National Council. Now, away from politics, let's focus on Clag Strike. They have withdrawn their services nationwide, and the Sante region has been grappling with the consequences of the strike initiated by Clag, while leading to significant disruptions in essential public services as part of their protests against the non-implementation of a new salary structure. Clag workers ceased rendering critical services at some departments, including district assemblies and the Controller and Accountant General Department. And Abaj has more in the following report.
The impact of the strike initiated by Clag began manifesting itself immediately as emergencies were left unattended at some government departments in Kumasi. The gravity of the situation has left people seeking essential services frustrated over possible delays. At some district assemblies, doors were locked with essential services on hold. Dr Prempeh is chairman of Clag in the Asokwa municipality.
Also, today, as Clag, we are on strike. And it has affected the municipal because majority of the staffs here fall under the Clag Association. So we are not working here. You see us here, we are the executives, and we are here to make sure that those ones that also want to find their way here, we stop them from coming to do any work here because we want the government to hear us and hear us well so that we too will have a good condition of service that will make our life comfortable for us to be able to deliver good services to Mother Ghana. Our dreams, our vision is to deliver good services to our communities that we serve, and it's not for our good intention to send them away. But those who are going to deliver the service to them are not here. They are all at home. So if you even allow you to go to the office is locked. So when you come, we explain to you that the offices that you are coming to seek these various help, they are not available as at now. So until when you hear our National Council calling off this strike, then you can come back and come and get your services you want.
He admonished the government to arrive at a common ground soon enough to prevent further deterioration and minimize the detrimental effect on service delivery.
And Abaj joins us live with more. Thank you for your time here on Newsdesk. What's the situation as we speak? Today is day 4.
Well, as the second day of the strike by Clag, the strike is still disrupting public services at some places that we have visited, especially at the enclave of government departments here in the Ashanti region. We did visit the Department of the Controller and Accountant General, and the offices are locked up as people seeking essential services are being turned away. It is also biting hard at various municipal and district assemblies that we have visited so far in the Ashanti region, especially the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, where a number of people continue to troop in to seek some essential services. But then as we speak, the KMA office is locked up in a doom, preventing people from having access to any other public service. Yesterday, we were here at the Asokwa Municipal Assembly, and then the place was locked. On the second day, as we are here currently, the place is still locked and branded with red, as some few executives of Clocksag are here, asking staff and people seeking essential services to return back to their houses. You can see behind me that the office of the Asokwa Municipal Assembly is locked. It is branded with red. There are some few executives of Clocksag in the municipality seated here, and their job is to turn away people coming to seek public service, and then staff who intend to also work due to, even though they are on strike. And so the Clocksag president is seated right behind me, with one executive also standing behind him, and then the Clocksag general secretary also on my left right here. Will be speaking to her very soon. Now, this strike is due to the non-implementation of a new payment structure that Clocksag says that is demanding government to establish, but then failure to do so on the side of government has led to this industrial action. Well, this is the second day of the Clocksag strike, and then we are currently at the Asokwa Municipal Assembly, and then we can clearly confirm that from our observations, the strike is really biting out, especially on public services, those seeking these services at the various government departments that we have visited. So if I have the General Secretary of the Asokwa Municipal Assembly, Clocksag, here with me, I'd want to interact with her as the strike enters day 2. On the first day when I came here, a number of people were being turned away. On the second day, when I was here earlier, people coming in to seek public service were also turned away as they continue to sit in front of the Asokwa Municipal Assembly to ask them to return to their various houses. I mean, on the first day and then the second day, tell us, what are you doing for these people who are coming in here to seek some essential public service?
Actually, since we are on strike and we intend to continue with this till our grievances are met, we send people who come in away for services, we send them away, because we can attend to them. As you can see, there are no staff around. We are here specifically to see that our staff, they are complying to it. So if you come to the office and you don't meet any staff, meaning you have to go back. So we send them away, we don't attend to them.
Now, when I did my observation at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, there were some people coming in, and then they said that the services they require are very, very important, and then if it delays, it is going to be it's going to affect them in any way whatsoever. Are there not any form of considerable measures you're putting in place to attend to these people?
Unfortunately, no. I'm gonna the days maybe. Some people from the community may come into the offices to seek services, which they will come and meet staff here. But this time around, it's like in one way or the other, our needs are not being met. Always when there's a meeting, we'll be told, go, we'll do this. But we found out nothing is done. So this time around, we want to lay this information to the stakeholders who coming together to make sure staffs, or let's say people in the local government services, are comfortable doing their work without any malice. No, we want to tell them that they should really be serious with us this time. If we come in to render services to the community, indirectly we are saying we're okay with what we have, which is not so. So this time around, we are rallying behind our national executives to fight for what we deserve. That's what this is about. So as you can see, there are no staffs around here, and also there are no people here. There are no people here who we can attend to. Actually, we'll send you away. That's the main reason why we are here.
So your job here is to send people away, not to even do anything whatsoever?
We are part of the staff here.
I know about that. You're still staff and you're executives of Clocksag, but then you're seated in front of the municipal assembly, and your job is to
one, send away staff who may one way or the other intend come here to work, and also make it known to the public who might not be on the known that we are on strike, that currently we are not working here, so they should go home.
Now, let's do our checks from yesterday. Can you tell me the number of people you counted coming in to seek some essential services?
Actually, I can't.
But then you were able to turn a number of them away yesterday?
Oh, we did.
And then this morning too, some people have been coming here?
This morning, actually, there hasn't been even more than 5, or it's even less.
Less than 5.
People are aware we are on strike, so they rather not come in here to be turned away.
And then looking at the fact that you are turning people away, some of them still come in one way or the other. Some of them have also accepted the fact that you're on strike. Don't you think that you are doing the service to these people?
No, actually. I think it's not rendering service to them. Because if you come and the main reason why you came to the office, you don't meet it, what do? Actually, you can come here and meet the office locked. Either ways, you go back. So we being here actually to send staff away. Should there be someone from the community who is coming in for a specific service, I think it's fair enough to tell them they need to go back. Presumably, maybe they don't know we are on strike. That's why they are coming in.
That's fair enough. But then, can you tell me some of the services that you are not rendering at the moment?
All of them.
All of them? Everything?
Everything.
Including marriage registration?
Everything. Our staff is not here to cater or to attend to those who come in to register their marriages.
Okay, so let's look at the timing of the strike.
Actually, as I stand here, I don't know when we are ending it. But what I know is it's on. We are not stopping any time until our grievances are met. You
are not calling off the strike until your grievances are met?
Grievances are met. We need to see that it has been implemented. Like, if my memory serves me right, somewhere 2022, we went on strike because of the same new salary structure. And we were told it was going to be implemented in 2023. But as we stand here, we are in 2024, and this is the second half of the year. Nothing has been done about it. So this time around, all that we are telling the government is to meet our needs.
But then yesterday, your national leadership failed to meet the NLC for further deliberations on the strike.
On that, I can't say much about it, but what I can say is, one, I'm sure there are reasons which maybe we are yet to be communicated to, and another thing also is, for the previous years, these same people that we were supposed to meet yesterday, they are the ones we have been meeting. And after we will be told to go back to the offices and work, but at the end of the day, we find out nothing is being done. So I'm sure our national executives, they know what they are doing.
All right, thank you so much. Your name is?
I'm Hannah Brefia Mankwa.
Okay, and that is Hannah Brefia Mankwa, and she is the General Secretary of the of Clag Strike here in the Asokwa municipality, and she tells us what has been going on, what has been happening since yesterday when Clag Strike began their strike. And from our observation, especially from the enclave of government departments, we realized that a number of essential services are not being rendered to the public at the moment. And so this is what is currently happening here at the Asokwa Municipal Assembly. Over to you, Faustina.
Yeah, don't come bringing us that update all the way from Kumasi. Now, back here in Accra, representatives of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, Clag Strike, failed to show up for a meeting called to address their concerns in the wake of their latest strike action. Executive Secretary for the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Asamoah, says this action was preempted by an earlier letter brought by the Commission in which Clag Strike was challenging the composition of the Commission. Well, the NLC says the strike was not properly constituted and must therefore be called off.
It's an unfortunate one because seriously, you have a problem and you have reported to the Commission that the Commission intervenes. We wrote to the other party with whom you are contending. They have given their indication and said that, okay, we are ready to come and settle the case. So why would the one at whose instance this meeting is being called decide that I'm not coming? We will give them, we are inviting them again to appear. You see, they sent a letter to the Commission 3 days ago, which was suggestive that they might not attend. And that is, they have written to the Commission through their lawyers, Gomda and Associates, challenging the composition of the Commission, that the Commission is not properly constituted. And their grounds are that they have caused a search, an official search, at the Registrar General's Department as to whether or not there are any bodies such as organized labor registered with the Registrar General's Department or Employers Association. And in both cases, the answer was no. And according to them, the representatives of the labor unions, organized labor here, since there is no registered body as organized labor, it means that their nomination is improper, null and void. So they don't know which body nominated them.
Let's tell you about the National Science and Maths Quiz now. The surprises in this year's edition of the National Science and Maths Quiz keeps growing as Presby SHS Bompata becomes the latest to join the batch of schools making their first appearance in the national stage. Well, the school has for years yearned for sport in the national tournament, but fell short after a series of defeats in a keen contest against Trinidad Kodia Senior High School and Edu Jemfi Senior High School. They escaped in a near defeat to qualify. Emmanuel Bradkweko has more from Kumasi.
Let us put our hands to the wheel together. Let us build protect our school. To mold the season youth, to mold the season youth in us.
And the surprises in the Ashanti region keeps increasing by day. We are having some new schools join us for the national stage. And just about now, Bompata Presby SHS are now qualified for the first time to the national stage of the National Science and Maths Quiz. And they are so excited. You can see from them. Let me find out from you. You are a contestant. How do you feel taking your school to the nationals for the first time?
We feel very, very great because we have struggled under a lot of pressure. So today we are victorious. We are very grateful to the Lord. We thank the Lord.
Okay, if you say you've struggled, what do you mean by it? Is it that you were burning the midnight candles?
Yeah, we studied throughout the night and all those stuffs. So we have struggled a lot.
If you look through our subsequent contest, we wasn't discouraged, but God is with us. That's why we have won that contest.
We are coming for the big boys and the big girls. We are coming for them. So they should watch out for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Now tell me how the struggles has been all these years.
In fact, over the years, we come into the regionals, either we play second or third, then we go home, then back to the drawing board. You try several things over and over and you don't succeed. But this year, we were so blessed by the grace of God. And then we have the right thing, the right variables in place. And everything has worked perfectly for us this time. So it is really a big breakthrough for us.
Watch out for us because this time we are coming with full vim and we are sure we are going to be victorious at the end of the day.
Are you not scared of Prempeh College over us?
Oh, no. We are not scared at all. Like,
somebody is saying they are small boys. Do you agree?
Yes, we are small boys. Everything happened anytime. So, Mom Function with Stream say, Eddie come for. We started this time. We are coming for.
Now, my boy.
We started.
Eddie come for.
We started.
Eddie come for.
We started.
Eddie come for us. We are always the lions. We are not like the sheeps to be keep quiet everywhere. Though we are the lions, but lions don't talk to sheep, so we are the lions, and we don't have to mingle ourselves with the sheep. So I know we won.
So if you are saying the sheep, what are you talking about?
You know, sheeps, lions. We are the lions and we don't make noise too much.
Though they may be greenhorns, they are coming in with much fire. They tell me they are going back to the drawing board to prepare harder as they come into the national championship. And so these are the students from Bompata Presby SHS. Eddie Kamfor.
Restarted.
Eddie Kamfor.
Restarted.
Eddie Kamfor.
Restarted.
Well, they say they started it, and you should hope that once they come into the national championship, they are going to start fireworks from here at the KNUST Auditorium. My name is Emmanuel Bradkweko.
We're taking a quick breather here on Newsdesk. We'll be back with business, to stay tuned in.
Welcome back. It's time for Business on Newsdesk. My name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. The Ministry of Communications and Digitalization has announced that the Cabinet has approved the Digital Economic Policy. The Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitalization, Charles Echampon, disclosed this at the expanded launch of the PAX data centers in Accra. Now we'll bring you that story shortly. The Institute of Economic Affairs is advocating for amendment to certain provisions in the Bank of Ghana's Act. In an interview with Joy Business, senior scholar at IEA, Professor Alexander Bilson Dako, suggested that the tenure of the central bank's governor should be extended beyond the presidential terms to ensure continuity and stability. He argued that allowing the government to dictate the governor's terms and conditions undermines the independence and effectiveness of the regulator. The Institute of Economic Affairs is pushing for a significant amendment to the Bank of Ghana Act 2016. These changes aim to address financial management, enforcement, and other issues in the current act by incorporating best practices from the Bank of England and the U.S. Federal Reserve's Act. Professor Alexander Bilson Dako is a senior scholar at the IEA.
First looked at issues such as the constitution of the board of Bank of Ghana, the appointment of the governor, the processes that the Bank of Ghana has to go through before it is allowed to go over lending to government beyond the set percentage, which is 5% of the previous revenue. We discussed that, and then we also, like I said, we discussed if there's the need for the country to think deep about changing the appointment of the Bank of Ghana for the Bank of Ghana governor terms to overlap that of the president, and then also we talked significantly about how to really ensure the independence of the Bank of Ghana in the conduct of its duties in terms of promoting price stability and exchange rate stability, and also conduct policies in a way that would help promote the economic development of the country.
The IEA believes the proposed amendment to the Bank of Ghana Act are poised to bring about a more transparent and accountable central bank, which will play a critical role in ensuring fiscal restraint and stability within Ghana's economy. Now back to our earlier story. The Ministry of Communications and Digitalization has announced that Cabinet has approved the Digital Economic Policy.
According to the Deputy Minister, the Digital Economic Policy will have 5 thematic areas aimed at creating jobs and expand small businesses. Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitalization, Charles Echampon, said the policy will accelerate digital inclusion in Ghana.
These are very exciting times for the communication sector in Ghana. The ministry is championing government's digital agenda to ensure that Ghana participates fully in this 4th industrial revolution. Cabinet has recently approved the Digital Economy Policy with 5 prioritized thematic areas to enable the ministry to track the digital journey in Ghana.
More investors in the tech space have described Ghana's digital environment as conducive for the expansion of data centers to serve the West African region. After investing over $30 million to expand its data centers in Ghana, Managing Director and Head of Infrastructure Investment, Africa 50 and Board Chairman of PAX Data Centers, Raza Hasnani, said it is time for small businesses and SMEs to take advantage of ICT infrastructure expansion in Ghana.
Data centers are a very important theme for Africa 50 because we are trying to accelerate the digital transformation of the continent. We're trying to bring Africa's data home here. We're trying to increase business continuity. We're trying to increase connectivity. And one of our core themes is improving people's livelihoods. And data centers basically touch on every one of those themes. So very critical strategy for us.
On his part, Managing Director of PAX Data Centers, Bright Teria, said the expansion will help grow Ghana's economy and provide reliable storage center as activities in the sector grows.
When you look at the statistics, I mean, digitization has become the order of the day. This means that we're going to generate a lot of data in the country. And generation means that we need a carved out facility to store this data. And that is why we did expansion. In fact, we don't want to wait for the D-Day when data has become a lot in the system and then we don't have data centers to store them. So we have taken the initiative to increase the capacity that we have, and we've done the expansion whilst we wait for the digitization agenda, where a lot of data will be generated in the country.
That'll be all for business here on Newsweek. My name is Winston Taki. Now, for more news, visit myjoyonline.com for our updates. We have business, we have sports, and all the political news for our update. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Well, you're still watching NewsDesk. Thank you for making time to join us. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Our top story there, NPP's National Council to decide Opoku Prempeh's fate as Bawumia's running mate today. We also have some trending stories there on the ambulance trial. CJ dismisses Jakpa's petition of bias by the trial judge. Log on to myjoyonline.com and get more details. My name is Faustina Safo. Thank you for staying with us for the past 60 minutes. We have more news in subsequent bulletins. Do stay tuned in.